Assalamu alaikum, grade ones. I hope everyone is doing well. Welcome to our next, I guess we can say, activity. We're here today and we're going to be making something that I know all of you guys love to play with. Okay, sometimes we can't always go to the store to buy this thing, and you guys like getting creative with it. You guys like getting your hands messy. So this here is, we're going to be making our very own Play-Doh today, okay? So here we are. I have my materials here. We're gonna start and make sure that we have a deep bowl, okay? So Play-Doh, the reason I wanna make Play-Doh is because one, we can't always have like sometimes we don't have any Play-Doh at home, and if we're really, really bored, it's a good way to do an activity. And another thing is that you don't necessarily have to go to the store, right? And this one is nice and soft and you can play with it, you can store it, you can put it into a plastic bag when you've done making it, and then you can pull it out again when it's time, like when you feel like playing again. So here we are today. I'm gonna move you guys so that you guys can see me over here. Okay, and yeah, so we have a few ingredients. So some Play-Doh, it calls for us to cook whatever mixture that we're making. Miss Aisha is gonna make it a safe and easy recipe for you guys so that you guys can do it easily on your own. Okay, so we are going to then, let me just position you guys so that you guys can see better. Okay, hopefully that's good. Okay, so we're going to do it in a non-cook way. It's very, very simple. You will need 2 cups of flour, and that's right, it's the flour that mommy used to cook or bake with. So I'm gonna go ahead and take my cup and I'm gonna do 2 cups of flour. I'm gonna fill it up, 1 and 2. Okay, 1 and 2 cups of flour. Okay, and just make sure that you brush your hands off into here so it doesn't get all everywhere, because flour is sometimes hard to clean up. Okay, once you're done that, put your flour away so it doesn't get everywhere. Okay, next thing I'm gonna do is, once you have your flour in here, the next thing that you are going to do is you're going to take salt. Okay, it could be salt that you have at home, so the salt that we use in our food. Yummy, yummy. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab my salt and a cup again, and I'm gonna fill my cup with salt. Okay, so just fill it all the way to the top. Yes, it's a lot of salt, but salt is kind of what holds the Play-Doh all together and nicely. It gives it the texture that it's supposed to give us. Okay, so we're gonna do. And the thing I love about this this recipe is the fact that it's so easy, right? You don't have to, you know, a lot of recipes, they go about like sticking it on the stove, heating it up, but this activity, you don't need that, guys. Okay, so you are basically just taking it and making it, and then right away you guys get to play with it. So sometimes my salt bulks up. I'm gonna, am I running out of salt? Am I running out? I think I have a chunk of salt in there that's not letting any of the other salt come out. So here we go. Okay, and that should be enough. I mean, it's almost 1 full cup, but I'm gonna go ahead. So once you have your flour and your cup of salt, you take your cup of salt and you throw it in there. Okay, and then give it a nice mix. Okay, the next part, once you mix your salt and your flour together, and remember guys, it could be any flour that you have at home. It doesn't really have to be any specific brand. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is I am going to take oil, and it can be any oil that you have at home, and I'm gonna go ahead and just put 2 tablespoons of oil in here. This, guys, is going to help your Play-Doh stay stretchy and so that you can mold it around. Okay, so I'm gonna take it I'm just gonna, it's one. You could put a little bit more if you find that your Play-Doh is too dry. I think I might put a little bit more because my cups were quite big. Okay, so once you have that, the next thing you're gonna do is you're gonna pick a color for your Play-Doh, guys, okay? So I'm just gonna brush off all my hands. And I picked to do red. I know that when I combine it into my water, it's probably gonna turn like a, what's it called? Like a pinkish color, hopefully not, but you know, here we go. I'm gonna take my cup of water. I have 1 full cup of water, and I'm just gonna put my food coloring in there, okay? Whoops. Be careful when you're spraying it because then you can get it everywhere. There we go. You don't have to put that much on it, but I'm gonna go ahead and mix it. Okay, and then I'm gonna slowly pour it into my mixture. Okay, so now that you have it like that, you're just going to take your hand and you're going to knead. Okay, this part is important because you don't want too much water in it, but you don't want to make your Play-Doh too dry. So this is the part where you just have to kind of wait and see how much more water you will need. Another thing that I recommend that you guys can do, just so it doesn't make like a yucky smell, right? You can add some like scents to it. You can put like essential oils or something into it to make it smell nice. Now, if you can look here, it looks like I didn't put enough water because you can see that it's really dry and there's still lots of flour. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna grab a little bit more water and come back and put some more water in here, okay? Okay, so here I am, I'm back. I have just a little bit of water more. So I'm just gonna slowly add the water just so it doesn't get too squishy and slimy, because if it does that, then it's not going to turn out the way that we want it to, okay? So you're just gonna add your water, and as you can see, there we go. It is kind of squishy, but hopefully it won't stay that way. Okay, and you just really knead the dough. Just keep squishing and squishing, and it takes time to make it. It doesn't really, you know. So as you can see, Miss Aisha is really squishing it, and I find that it's not stretchy enough. I find that it's still dry. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a little bit more oil into it. Okay. Making Play-Doh is hard because you want a good consistency, right? You don't want to make it too hard or too dry, but you don't want to make it too slimy either, right? So adding just enough water and just enough oil will help make it a good consistency. So now it's coming together nicely. Do you see? So it's coming together nicely. Again, if you find that it's too dry, you can either add a little bit more water or you can add a little bit more oil, okay? So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna keep kneading, okay? So you have your very own Play-Doh at home. And you don't always have to bug your parents to go and buy some, right? You can make it at home. You can say, Mommy, Daddy, I know how to make it myself. Excellent. Okay, so now what Miss Aisha is gonna do is, so you guys don't have to sit there watching me knead it, I'm gonna knead it and I'm gonna come back. Okay guys, look, I'm back. I have my Play-Doh here. There's lots of Play-Doh here, more than enough for you guys to play with. So here we go. You're able to kind of break it apart and play with it like you would with normal Play-Doh. And the more you play with it, the more it becomes Play-Doh-y. So you just have to make sure that you really, really squish the ingredients together and knead it with your hands like this so that you have your very own homemade Play-Doh, right? It's just like Play-Doh. And the best thing is that you can store it, put it nicely into a Ziploc bag, zip it up, and you can play with it later too. So that's some Play-Doh here. So you see, the more I squish it together, the more smooth it becomes, and the more I can, and the best thing about this is that you can make small amounts and you can make different colors, right? So you save mom and dad a trip to the grocery store or to like Walmart, right? And it's really good. And the best thing about it is that you don't have to cook it. It's nice and soft in my hands, right? And there's lots here. Excellent. Okay, grade ones, there you have it. This is your very own Play-Doh experiment. You guys can create your own Play-Doh, make your own stuff out of Play-Doh, because I know how much you guys like Play-Doh. Excellent, guys. Good luck. Enjoy, and I will see you in our next lesson. Assalamu alaikum.